Actually, I do.
Eh,
Yeah.
30 seconds.
mhm.
10 seconds.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Okay.
Stand
Stop
by.
it.
The opinions that you may hear us express, expressly or otherwise, over the public's airways, is in no way to represent the opinions expressed or otherwise by our management, producers, sponsors, or various members of their staffs or their families or few friends.
Nor should these views express the opinions of the broadcasters, the disc jockeys, the salesmen, the program and music directors, and their secretaries and girlfriends and wives and their staff.
Unless, of course, we are willing to assume that we can assume the responsibility that their opinions will not influence anyone else's opinions.
Or their family and friends.
And staff.
Right.
We try to be safe.
hmm Got all that?
Yeah, I think so. Mad Radio, WMDX 92.7 FM and 1580 AM, Madison State Street, a block away from the Capitol. We welcome you to our grand city. I'm thinking maybe the Devils think that little disclaimer is a takeoff on their disclaimer, and they're angry and not happy with us, and that's why they don't want to even mention our names in their program. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking there's a little competitiveness here going.
Seriously? What are you talking about?
I don't know.
I think you're crazy.
I know it's paranoia.
Yeah, you're paranoid.
It's what all announcers go through in this business, and sometimes we work it through, and sometimes we just hold grudges.
Yeah, obviously you're in the second category, and you're very paranoid and holding a grudge. What do you got to? That I'm sure that disclaimer has nothing to do with their. They have a disclaimer too, and that's theirs, and that's fine. Why you think ours
it's like they might think
they
might think ours is like an answer to theirs, and
okay. So you're trying to think what they're thinking, and we should think of some kind of response to that or something.
Well, I'm thinking, if we don't mention the Devils anymore on the program.
Well, I think you're overthinking it.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know.
But the thing is, these disclaimers are like radio cliches.
Yeah.
They have been around for so long, and everybody's hated them for so long that's why we put them together. That's why they're there. In fact, this disclaimer is from the 70s, the Proctor Bergman report, which used to be a fun radio feature that some stations picked up on, so others didn't. But it was fun. And that was what that is from.
Yeah.
We've been using it for thousands of years, friends.
And we will continue to use it as long as infinity stretches out in front of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a foggy start this morning. 9 minutes past the hour. It's really foggy, so watch out. Allow some extra travel time, and there's dense fog advisories and that kind of thing. So just just be aware. And it's mild, 32 degrees. Going to get into the mid 30s later on today with a lot of clouds. Cloudy day.
I'm hoping. I thought there was going to be some kind of rain today. Yeah. Is there going to be any kind of rain today?
I think there were some drizzle overnight, a few sprinkles, a little shower activity, but I think that's moved on. Now we're just left with the fog for a while.
Well,
a foghorn. We got to get a foghorn.
That's right. We really have to. This is fog season again.
It's fog season.
We're gonna. I have snow-covered sidewalks and a driveway that I'm hoping the rain would have washed away, or at least thinned out a little bit, and we're not going to get that.
Nope. No, not happening. Not today. Yeah. It's National Library Shelfie Day, not Selfie Day, National Library Shelfie Day, which happens on the fourth Wednesday in January. I live up in Baraboo, out here in the sticks, in the boonies.
Yeah.
A little artsy town. A lot of
Yeah, it is
music
very much
shops
so. Yep.
and antique shops, and it's very festive. They have a new library actually added on to the old library, which was a Carnegie library. I don't know if you know about these Carnegie libraries, but they were put out by the Andrew Carnegie family many years ago in the 1800s. They funded libraries across the country.
Wow.
Yeah, and this is one of them. And they added on to it. We had a big project, a beautiful new addition, and they kept the architecture, very similar to the original library, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's just really an excellent library, state of the art. What are we listening to here, Sam? Crank it up. What do you got?
You got your radio turned down too low.
You can't judge a book by the cover by Bo Diddley.
Oh, yeah, you can't judge a book.
You can't judge sugar by looking at the cane. You can't judge a woman by looking at her man. You can't judge a sister by looking at her brother.
Here we go.
You can't judge a book by looking at the cover.
Oh, ain't that the truth? So, Library Shelfie Day. Some collectors of books tend to arrange their collections so their spines can be admired pleasantly. Others have a system of organization that results in an alternative art form. However, our books are organized on the shelf. They're meant to be photographed and shared on social media. So I guess the idea with Library Shelfie Day is take a picture with your books on the shelf. Sam?
I thought we figured out like the Dewey Decimal System over 100 years ago. Why don't people use that? Because they're too lazy to sort their books or something?
It might be.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think that's just for libraries. It's a secret coding system of
I've never had a big
librarians.
enough personal library to warrant really sorting them.
Yeah, I know. Books have become passe, but I still have
that's really
a lot
fun.
of books.
No, I still have books that I read.
Yeah.
Do you really? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. That's good.
Yeah. Hold on to that. Hold on to that.
Yeah. Yeah, books are good.
We're moving on. Us senior citizens are moving on to digital. I'm sorry, but you can hold on to your paper books, my little friend.
I'm still a book reader.
Oh,
and
God. I do have to. I forgot about the Dewey Decimal System, but when you go to the librarian and you ask for a book, and then they go through this long process, and you're thinking, what is that? Haven't we all thought that?
Sure.
How do you find the books with that system?
Pretty much it's title and author, I mean, what else do you need?
Yeah, but
at least you don't need to go like sorting through the card catalog anymore, going through like shelf after shelf.
That is so true. Yeah.
Yes, those were.
That was the self-serve drawers.
Yeah, you could search for hours trying to find something,
right?
And not find anything. Yeah. It's National Peanut Butter Day. Do you like peanut butter, John? Are you a big peanut butter fan?
Crunchy peanut butter is the only peanut butter that we buy here in this household.
Well, there you go. It's been a staple in our pantries forever. Whether creamy or crunchy, with chocolate or with jelly, peanut butter gets the recognition it deserves each day on this year. Each year on this day.
But it's good.
January.
It's good stuff.
Butter. It's good for you, too.
Yeah, the kids like it with celery.
With celery?
Yeah, you put peanut butter on celery. I don't like it personally.
And what?
Ants on a log.
Ants on a log. That's what they call it.
It's where you take celery, you like slather it in peanut butter, and then you put raisins on it.
Mm. Oh,
okay.
Well, they don't use the raisins, but
it was a staple when I was a kid.
Yeah,
it was like a go-to snack that my mom made for us.
It's nice addition. Yeah.
It is also Beer Can Appreciation Day. Some of these guys collect beer cans.
Yeah, they collect them, and it's not like that an intentional collection. It's just what they leave around the house, or the apartment.
What do we got?
I'll tell you. I got to tell you a story about that.
All right, it's Johnny's story time. Yeah.
All right.
Tell us.
Do we have time here? Okay.
Sure.
All right. I do a survey for the census.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to a little student housing out there in town, and the guy let me in, and the floors were lined with and in order. This wasn't just thrown on the floor. they were in order. He lined up all the bottles of beer and cans of beer, and he created a pathway into his living room. But the rest of the floor was covered in bottles and cans of beer, empty.
Wow.
It was interesting, and I wasn't quite sure how to take it. I mean, it's kind of a version of a hoarder, but beer bottles and cans.
Right. The back in 1935, John, the cone top beer can was invented right here in Wisconsin. The G. Heilemann Brewing Company up in La Crosse introduces cone top cans. I think I've seen those that they fit existing bottling lines, or they did, and they were convenient for small brewers with small budgets. 1963, the pull tab was invented. Remember the pull tab?
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course. We're still using those.
You're still stepping on them out on the beach from, years
but
gone by.
But the cone top cans, it's like the antifreeze you used to put in your gas tank. It's like one of those cans, right?
Looked like one of those, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And then the stay tab, the kind that we're used to today, was invented in 1975. So there's a little history of the beer cans there.
And what do we do, right? We wiggle it back and forth, break it off so we can throw it away. It doesn't hit our nose. Okay, well, maybe my nose.
Yeah, that's it. Let's see. One more appreciation day today. Let's see. What do we got? Oh, National Compliment Day. It's National Compliment Day.
Oh, it's about time. Please give us a call.
John, you have a wonderful large nose.
There's a compliment from Sam. Way to go.
There you go. Thank you. Well, I always like to hear that.
National Compliment Day, January 24th, offers a wonderful way to brighten someone's day or give credit for a job well done. Give an extra compliment today to anybody you think deserves it. Okay. These little things they write on it.
Compliment Day.
Compliment me.
Wow.
Okay. Okay. Do we have time for the quiz? I think we do. All right. Let's go with this. It's time for the rock and roll trivia quiz.
All right.
In the video Thriller with Michael Jackson, what does he tell his girlfriend? That he's A, a monster, B, not like other guys, C, just an 80s teen, or D, just like other guys? What does Michael Jackson tell his girlfriend in the video Thriller? All right.
He's not like other guys.
Hang on a second. You are correct, sir.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes. 2 days in a row, I think you got it right.
Yeah. Were you going to say that, Sam? Was that your answer?
No idea what I was going to say.
Okay.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Yes. You fit right in.
You made it. Okay. It is coming up on 6/19, and it's cloudy and it's foggy this morning, and we have we're going to go over the days in history here right after this.
All right. That was good.
You've earned your stripes.
Yes.
Who, me?
Yes.
Oh, saying
I have no idea what I'm going to say. Yeah. No, that's welcome to the show.
Yeah.
You're fitting in now.
Yes. I don't know. You guys, you want to do a trivia? Should I leave one of these for you tomorrow?
Yeah, could you?
I could.
I have no idea what to do with those things. But yeah, I'd need that. Something I could, nail her with. Yeah.
Okay. I've got a good one about, I'll tear this one out.
20 seconds.
All right. We'll do that tomorrow. Okay. Yeah.
It's about Rolling Stones' classic song, I Can't Get No Satisfaction.
Okay.
10 seconds.
Mad Radio, WMDX, 92.7 FM at 1580 AM, Madison. Broadcasting from State Street, a block away from the Capitol. You know, I was just doing the signal, the sign,
Yes.
that rockers always do, what is that called? Do you know what that is where you do this?
Isn't that the devil's horns or something?
Devil's horns?
Like that? Is
Something
that
like
right?
that. I was
Sam
doing
would
that.
probably. Sam.
Well,
I
knows
don't
that.
know, actually.
The youth
You what?
culture knows that stuff.
You do know or
The
you don't
youth
know?
culture has existed long before I've been alive.
Okay.
I think that's the devil's horns. I'm not sure, though.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to ask Rocker. Maybe
I
he's
know,
up
and
early.
I know it stood long time ago for BS.
Really?
I believe, I think that's
Think
what
it's
it
a
was,
gang
and
sign,
then it moved into the rock arena and became
Mm-hmm.
the whatever Bull's horns or whatever you want to call it, and then Beavis and Butthead did it all the time.
Yes. Beavis and Butthead.
I used to watch that. I used
Oh,
to
yeah.
get a big laugh out of it.
Good stuff. Yeah. Well, if
you
somebody
never
out
know.
there wants to
You
chime in, 608-879-8255.
Any fond memories of watching Beavis and Butthead?
That's what we're talking about.
That's a
this
big
morning.
question this morning.
Yeah. Boy, it was back on this date in 1848. I'm looking through some history now, dusting off the history books. Gold was discovered in California in 1848. And then, of course, in 1849, that's when the gold rush started. Everybody, started moving out to California to find that gold in them there hills.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
And the people that made all the money in that were the people that sold the shovels and the pickaxes.
There you go.
Those were
There
the
you
people that
go,
really made
yeah.
the money.
Yeah.
The Boy Scouts were started in 1908. Actually, it was called Scouting for Boys back then.
Oh my God! No,
Changed
really,
it to
really,
Boy
Scouting for Boys. Well,
Has a little
that's
different connotation now.
not a great title. Would not have
Yeah,
flown.
Change the title.
Well, I'm Scouting for Boys. Oh God, that is so wrong.
Well,
Did they actually think that that was their
that was
first slogan?
1908. It was a little different time period, so they didn't realize. They changed it after about a year or so.
It's a red
After all these
flag.
started disappearing.
That's a red flag.
1950, the patent was issued for the microwave oven.
Mhm.
In 1950. Well, it didn't
Wow.
really become popular till the late 60s, but I guess they
Right.
were tweaking it. And in 1984, the Apple Macintosh went on sale. Remember the the Apple Macintosh?
Yeah.
Okay.
They made a big deal about it. I hate Apple so much.
I do,
I just hate them.
I do. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
My son hates them too. And my son, I told him he should start a blog. The stuff he tells me about what Apple does to their customers, how much they overcharge them, how little
Yes.
they give them in updates and new product, it's just ridiculous. It's almost unfathomable that people would be taken in by Apple and their products. Just
Well, they're hooked. They're hooked.
Do you guys
And
remember
they stay with them. Yeah.
Do you guys remember the 1984 Super Bowl ad that
Yes.
promoted the Mac?
yeah. What was
Yeah.
was that where the hammer, the guy threw the hammer
Yeah,
at the screen?
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
Fine.
right.
I
Yeah.
always find it funny that Apple used that way back in the day to promote stuff, and now they've become what they sought to destroy.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Good point.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. Birthdays today, celebrity birthdays. Neil Diamond was born on this date in 1941, and John Belushi was born in 1949. Yeah.
I have a old 45 of Neil Diamond's. I think
you?
it's one of his very first records. It's called Clown Town.
I've
No
never
one
heard of
he
that.
never sings it in concert for some reason. But it's a good song. It was a very catchy little tune. Clown Town. Yeah, it was kind of a cool record. I want to get back to that microwave thing. The invention of the microwave. Remember, we got a
1950,
call
yeah.
on that, and somebody told us that those mesh screens that we look through at our food while it's being cooked
Right? What?
blocks the microwaves because the waves are very tall waves, and they can't get through the grid, those little holes. So that allows us to watch the food in front of a microwave without cooking our eyes.
Jeez. I
Just
don't
a little,
recall that story.
just a little trivia, but there you
It
go.
makes a lot of sense.
Well, Dan sent that in, and I did not know that.
Yeah, you learn something new every day here on the John and Gordy show.
Yeah,
Yes.
you try to forget a lot of new things that you hear.
That's it.
And John
Okay.
Belushi, how much,
Yeah.
how he could, just still be out there. Wouldn't that be just fantastic?
Yeah,
His
I have
acting
a little
career was
yeah.
incredible.
Incredible, yeah. I grew up in Wheaton, Illinois, which is where the
Mm-hmm.
Belushi family lived, and I knew Jim Belushi a little bit. He was a year behind in high school, and John Belushi was in my sister's class. He graduated in the
Wow.
1967 class,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, he was a big football star. He was captain of the football team, and I remember one time my sister brought home. Sister and her girlfriend, they brought home 3 or 4 guys from the football team, and John was one of them. I
Wow.
remember meeting him. This would have been.
He was a captain of the football team, John
he was
Belushi?
the captain of the football team.
That must
at
have been
Wheaton
a
Central High School.
funny
Yeah.
group.
Yeah.
Very, very funny group.
Well, he and they put on back then they'd put on variety shows every year at the high school, and I remember seeing 2 different variety shows where he was of course in those, and he was the star of the show. I mean, it was really really funny. Everybody knew he was destined to do something in showbiz.
Wow.
And and then he ended up going to Second City and then up to UW Whitewater. That's where he went to college.
Well,
And
that's
then,
where you get your sense of humor. Midwest, in Wisconsin.
Yeah. And then ended up going to New York City and getting a part into the National Lampoon Radio Hour, if you remember that.
Yes.
Which was a
yes.
prelude to the Saturday Night Live and SCTV. All those actors ended up in one or the other of those comedy troupes. But yeah, I mean, he was a really nice guy, very polite. That's all I remember. This interaction probably happened 2 or 3 minutes, but it was just at the front door and, saying hi and hello to the family. And it was good.
You could still, I think you could still find those National Lampoon albums, comedy albums that they have with John Belushi on them doing
funny
this.
stuff. Really
It
good
is.
stuff.
It really was fun stuff. But I got to say, his movie career was just fantastic. He was so good in those movies that he appeared in. It's just so sad. Yeah,
it was. Yeah, there was the one movie, and I can't remember. Continental Divide.
Continental Divide was one of my favorites.
Yeah, he played a reporter, I think, and that was it's kind of a. Looking back on it, it was he could have had a really good, acting career doing serious roles because that was kind of a comic.
It was a serious role.
Yeah, good stuff.
And there was another one that is almost unavailable anywhere. At least, well, maybe it's on one of those commercial free streaming channels, but it's called Neighbors.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It was, that's a great movie.
It's one of the oddest movies you'll ever watch in your life. And Dan Aykroyd was his crazy neighbor that kept inviting him over, and his sexy wife who made advances on John Belushi. It was just a boring married guy.
Right.
Very boring marriage. And it was one of the funniest movies ever.
Yeah. Of course, Blues Brothers with Aykroyd. And
their house was underneath a large electric towers or power lines.
That's right. Yes. 29 past the hour. News, sports, and weather straight ahead. When we come back, we'll talk about Southern Republicans. Something like that. Did you have to cut me off?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta get my clock back on time here.
The thing is, I think I was able to get a copy of it. Some kind of version of it, Neighbors.
Neighbors?
Because I just, that is just so surreal.
What is this you're talking about? Neighbors?
Yeah, Neighbors.
The thing about being
he was in?
Yeah.
John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd.
It's a bizarre movie.
I can't think of the woman who was the sexy diva in this thing. His wife. Oh man, she was so good.
Internet do an internet search. In Wheaton, there was this one where the Belushis lived. You know, the house. Everybody avoided that going past their house because the three boys. Well, there was Jim, John, I think Steve Belushi. I can't remember. There was another brother and a couple of sisters. They were always like, they were very rambunctious and fighting with each other. I mean, just like rough and tumble fighting,
Wow.
good natured, but serious fighting, you know?
Yeah.
And so you would walk on the other side of the street to not interact with, like, oh, look out for those guys.
Very physical.
They're kind of rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is good. That is so
That's
good.
crazy that you met them, though. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I don't.
mean,
I wish. You know, I wish I'd. I mean, you know, nobody knew he was destined for greatness
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
time. You know, it's just like another, you know, of my sister's friends, and I was, you know, 4 years younger, so I was the, you know, younger brother tag along. It's like, get out of here. She just, with my friends, go somewhere else. So you have this Southern Republican story?
I do. I do. Now we could do that. I want to go
Or-
into. I want to try this Governor Evers' State of the State a little bit.
Oh, sure.
A
Do whatever
mention
you
of it, okay? And then I'll mention this land acquisition, conservation easement.
Yeah, do all that.
I'll just ad lib this thing.
Southern. Let's see. What are we doing here? What am I looking for? Dee, dee, dee. Want to do a coffee thing?
Why don't we do that?
Sure.
Yeah.
We haven't done a coffee.
Yeah.
I cut up a new bite one out of what we had, just rearranged some a little bit.
Do it. You want to do it out of the break, or is it musical enough?
It has music under it. Yeah, we can do that.
Does it have the "We Want Coffee"?
So,
Or
I named it
what?
One Coffee.
Coffee. Damn good coffee.
Hey, does anybody want coffee?
Hey,
Sorry.
over here.
Oh, you're playing something too?
What's that?
Were you playing something too?
I did.
No,
Did
I-
you
Oh,
just
okay.
play?
I
No.
wasn't sure if I had like stuff laying under it or something.
That was me.
If I had
That was me too.
1
Yeah.
minute. You want to come out with that then?
Sure.
You got it or me? You've got it.
Yeah, because I cut this
Yeah,
together.
you
yesterday.
play it.
Yeah,
You
yeah. Play it for us.
Yeah, write the music and then play it right over the music and then, yeah.
You are in control. Oh, what's the opening?
Of your television set.
Yeah, what is that? That's
Outer Limits.
we should use that.
Yeah, now that we're on video.
20 seconds.
I know.
Yeah, you are in control of your television set.
Mhm.
We can make it into a soft blur,
10 seconds.
which is what television was back then.
Yes, blurry.
Buddy, you want coffee?
Fresh coffee. Can we offer you gentlemen a cup of joe?
Can I finish my coffee first? The sugar level, the caffeine level, all conspires to make things a little squirrely. Damn good coffee. And hot.
Caffeine is just a sort of a general phenomenon that could be spread and promulgated as many directions as possible.
There was a fish in the percolator.
Who wants coffee? Anybody want coffee?
Right over here.
Here. Yeah. Coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee.
We're pushing this drug on this program. We want everybody to be addicted.
We love
seriously.
coffee.
We do.
We love it.
We do. There's nothing like the flavor. It's a wake-up flavor.
Yeah. First
It's
thing in the
real.
morning, get you going. Get you
Yeah.
going.
You can add stuff to it, you know. What's Irish whiskey?
Yeah.
You could add that to it.
Yeah, a little shot. That's good.
Absolutely.
It's an eye opener.
That's not
Whatever
the way
it
you
takes
want to
get
do
you
it.
through the workday.
That's right, Sam.
Yeah.
You got it.
Mad Radio WMDX 92.7 FM 1580 AM as we ramble on and on and on. Yeah,
it's, 6:35, 32 degrees, really foggy out there, so don't be surprised.
I just want to give a big thumbs up to Tony Evers last night for the State of the State speech that he gave. He really made those Republicans squirm in their chairs last night. It was just fantastic to see their stone faces. It is really unbelievable. These are children in our state legislature. They are children. No matter what Tony Evers said up there, they did not have an expression on their face at all. It was stone faces out there in the crowd for the Republicans. Sad. These are babies. These people need to be taken care of by an adult in some way, shape, or form.
Wow.
And we had Robin Voss sitting right behind the governor, so you always saw his face. And my wife had noticed that, she does novels about crime and spies, and she was recalling looking at Robin Voss's face. He had a half smile, half frown. And that is, by FBI profilers, a sign that there is something wrong with that individual.
Maybe you're reading a little too much into that.
No. That's what he had. And it was just, he is just a really, really horrible person sitting behind Tony Evers. But Tony Evers criticized the Republicans a number of times during that speech, which is something just groundbreaking and deserved, by the way. And last night he announced the largest land conservation acquisition in Wisconsin history. Despite the denial by the legislature's powerful budget committee over a year ago, they prevented it with one anonymous vote. And that anonymous vote was by one representative who was concerned about a small, tiny little town in northeast Wisconsin that couldn't expand its borders or create developments or do anything in the future because of this land acquisition. So she held it up. The problem is, all Tony Evers had to do was just add a lot of land around that little town so they can expand. And they're acquiring all of this conservation land. This is over 50,000 acres of easement. It'll be completed. The Pelican River Forest Project, which is held up, and now it'll be just this huge amount of land. What they do is the state purchases it, then sells it off to private people, but they have to agree to keep the land open for whatever recreational purposes you can think of. And this is the biggest one in Wisconsin history, and Evers did it with private funding, didn't need the money from the state legislature, and that's how this is going in this government.
Mm-hmm. Now, was there we're hearing, is that this land is your land? Good selection, producer saying.
There you go.
Appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Now, was there a Republican response, John? I didn't stay up late last night.
There is no. Well, yeah, there was a Republican response, not to necessarily that, but
not to that issue. I just mean the to the State of the State speech.
Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu had a response, but he's not a great speaker. Tony Evers isn't either. But LeMahieu really kept it short, very short, and lied about everything that he could possibly lie in about 2 or 3 minutes. And we were very grateful that it was a short speech and response.
The State of the State. Wow.
Yeah. There's not a lot written about it this morning or captured and tweeted, but we'll get to that. We'll get to more of that.
Yeah, absolutely, because it lays out everything for the coming year and all, looking into the future, and I'm sure we'll be taking segments of it and examining it more closely later today.
But, Evers said this. This is how he kind of rubbed it in the Republicans' faces. He says, in partnership with the Biden administration and the Conservation Fund, we've approved the conservation easement for the Pelican River Forest, remaining acres to protect the forest for generations of future Wisconsinites to use and enjoy. This is a big deal, folks. And nailed it. He nailed it.
Excellent. That's great.
It was fun. It was fun. It was fun watching him take on the Republicans and just say, well, the Republicans haven't done this yet. Oh, he's talking about PFAS. They put a fund together a year ago, but they won't let us spend the money. And he was at point blank. It was fun to watch.
Excellent.
Fun to watch it. The state of the state, it actually was.
It's kind of like an annual tradition, but also, informative and yet entertaining at the same time, right?
It allows the governor to tell people in the state his point of view, what he's trying to accomplish, because the Republicans kind of, I guess they drain all the energy and all the information out of everybody's room because of their talking points. But the governor had at least this moment in time where he could set the record straight.
Mm-hmm. Well, and speaking of setting the record straight, this has nothing to do with that, but hooray for Hollywood. The Oscar nominations are out. So a little bit of entertainment news this morning.
And it's early. Okay, what do you got?
The nominations for the 96th Annual Academy Awards were revealed yesterday. And I know you've seen all of these movies, John.
Probably.
Oppenheimer had a strong showing, leading the Oscar contenders with 13 nominations.
Yeah.
Wow. The fantasy film Poor Things, starring Emma Stone, followed with 11 nominations, while the Martin Scorsese drama Killers of the Flower Moon got 10 nominations. Great movie. The summer blockbuster Barbie earned 8 nominations. The Oscars will take place on March 10th, hosted for the 4th time by Jimmy Kimmel. He does a good job. And here's the other, here's the full list of Best Picture. I'm not going to go through all the other nominations, but Best Picture, American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. I've never even heard of The Zone. I don't.
No,
you heard of The Zone of Interest? I
no.
didn't know that one, man.
No.
So, March 10th is the Oscar party, the TV show.
With Barbie, Margot Robbie did not get a nomination, which is insane. And the director of Barbie, this is a blockbuster movie globally.
Yeah.
And the director didn't get any recognition. She's a woman. I can't remember the name, but that is incredible. It's an incredible oversight, and it may speak volumes about where we are still in society.
Okay, well, yeah, you're right. I mean, they're trying to get more inclusive every year with the Oscar nominations and opening up the field, and how many nominees you can have and all of that. But it's an oversight if they didn't include her.
It's ridiculous. It just should never have happened like that. And Ryan Gosling released a statement in regards to that. He got a nomination. A man got the nomination. The 2 women involved in this were not given any kind of. The director is Greta Gerwig.
There we go.
Just look it up here.
Yeah. Yep. And speaking of Los Angeles, here we go again. Another segue. Pushing in the gears without the clutch. The Dane County Regional Airport is expanding to include flights to Los Angeles. This was announced yesterday. Dane County Regional Airport announced it on Tuesday. The airport will have 2 weekly summertime flights, so twice a week you can go to Los Angeles. Now that was set up actually before the pandemic, and then that went away, but now it's coming back. Low-cost airline Breeze Airways. Breeze. You can go on a breeze out to Los Angeles. It'll be taking passengers starting May 22nd. So you got to wait a while. Carrier had previously announced direct flights to Tampa Bay, Orlando from Madison. Those begin in February. And of course, everybody at the airport is all excited about this. Best thing area residents can do to choose Madison as they make their travel arrangements, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So we're happy that they have flights, direct flights. These are not layovers or anything, right to Los Angeles.
Sadly, we should take a little summer.
Take a little trip to Hollywood.
Right.
John
it would be easy that we could go to we could go to the Oscars, but it's not in time for that.
No, not in time for that. No. I've been to Los Angeles a number of times. It's always a fun trip, but the traffic.
It's weird. It's a weird place. I've been there a couple of times.
A different planet.
It is. It really is.
I feel like you're in an alien land. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. You go out there and you expect alien people living there. You know that everybody is transitory in LA. Yeah. And everybody thinks that. So everybody thinks that everybody is transitory, even though a lot of people live there.
Sure.
And the restaurants are there and the managers of the restaurants live there. It isn't that transitory, but we act like everybody's there temporarily, so I don't have to be, polite.
You're right. There's a real attitude of temporary existence there because also everybody is walking around waiting for the big one. When's the next?
That's true.
When's the next earthquake? This whole thing could just slide into the ocean. So you better enjoy your life today.
In 67, the Summer of Love, they had a big ad campaign. I don't know why, but there was a big ad campaign about California slipping off into the ocean, and they had fun with it. They joked about it.
Yeah,
they had ads in regards to that. I think it was for soda pop. Just an amazing thing.
Yeah. Well, and of course, not only earthquakes, but mudslides, and of course, all the fires that they have now, the fire season. I mean, it's got to be just a strange existence out there. I have a couple of really close friends that live in LA, and I just, they're always, they usually phone me from their car because they're stuck in traffic somewhere. I'm on the 101 here. I'm going to be here for like an hour and a half. I can't get anywhere. What's going on in the Midwest? It's a beautiful day here. Yeah.
Well, it cuts down on the tension. If you can make a phone call or just keep your mind distracted while you're in, stop and go traffic.
Yeah.
It cuts down on the frustration and probably the shootings.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah. It's a different life out there.
It is. But it's fun. I mean, it's the best weather ever. I mean, you can't experience weather any better than the weather in California.
Well, Southern California, especially. Well, we go down.
San Francisco's unbelievable.
San Fran's great. I've been to San Diego a bunch of times. That's beautiful. It's just it's every day sunshine, every 76. Easiest weather job in the world. Is San Diego. Sunny, and we'll get up to a high 76 today. Back to you, Bob.
You missed your calling. You could have just gone out there and just breezed through your weather forecasts on television and
in San Diego, also they have the Hotel del Coronado. I've been there a couple of times. Just a beautiful old hotel, just off the coast there, and that's where they filmed Some Like It Hot, and a bunch of other movies have been made around that.
To live and die in L.A.
Yes. Well, here in the Midwest, it's cloudy and foggy, and drizzly and rainy today. 32 degrees. Back with more of John and Gordy.
You got it.
I don't know. Did you have more on that other story? I just jumped the gun on the Hollywood thing.
No,
okay.
No.
It was in the rundown.
I was going to go into the Southern Republicans.
Okay.
But no, that was better.
Right.
That was better.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Now we have DeSantis was right, and I missed it. Let's see. You want to do the Southern Republicans?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And then do you have that DeSantis story too?
Yeah.
Okay. L.A. woman.
But To Live and Die in L.A., which is a movie, and a theme, the theme song.
Right. Yeah.
What
20 seconds.
Who is it? Wang Chung did To Live and Die in L.A., I think.
10 seconds.
Mad Radio WMDX 92.7 FM and 1580 AM. Broadcasting from Madison. That music is from Bubba Hotep. Bubba Hotep.
Gesundheit.
Yeah. It's an incredible movie. Elvis impersonator in his senior years, ready to die, and Bruce Campbell plays the Elvis impersonator, but he claims he is Elvis. He claims that he was met in a hotel by Elvis, and they switched identities so Elvis could just disappear into the mist while this other guy plays his hero in real life.
And that movie is which? What is that?
It's called Bubba Hotep.
Okay.
And what is happening in this senior housing facility is a mummy is going around killing people.
All right.
It's got a great soundtrack for Brian Tyler, so you got to like it. I guess.
Sounds like an interesting flick. I was not aware of that one.
Yeah. It's weird. It's just very odd. Elvis does not survive. I'll just give you a clue.
Oh, thanks, Bill.
I wrecked the whole movie for you. All right. Well, let's get into the Southern Republicans seem to have a problem, and it's the problem that they've been nailing Joe Biden with. Unfortunately, they've got the problem now, and it's called inflation. The latest Consumer Price Index report reveals an uncomfortable reality for Southern Republicans. There's a national cooling trend in inflation, but their regions are buckling under persistent price surges, with Texas and Florida's metropolitan areas leading the way. Republican strongholds grapple with rates still exceeding the national average for inflation. The economic squeeze comes at a politically sensitive moment, of course. More so increasingly, Republican territories such as Miami and Tampa, their inflation rate is soaring past 5%. Yeah. So maybe they've got a problem that they have to deal with, and maybe they can stop, all this inflation talk about Biden, which is gone, past, done. It's over with. And I said this before. Everybody got raises. Everybody's wages went up during COVID and after that. And that was terrific. And then, those wages are all just a waste of time now because inflation is eating up all their wages. Well, inflation goes down again, and the wages don't.
Yeah.
So now you're, again, experiencing a little bit more money to spend, more discretionary money to spend, but not in areas of Florida or Texas. They've seen an influx of new residents, placing additional demand on already strained resources. And remember, these are Republican states, so they're not going to spend money on these resources or additional housing or the new people moving into their areas, which they brag about all the time. Miami and Tampa face rates of 5.7% and 5.2% respectively. That comes at a time when the average inflation rate across the country is 3.4%. Theirs is 5.7.
Wow.
3.4 for everybody else, not in Miami or Tampa. So think about that, folks, next time you're thinking about moving to the warmer climates, being near Disney, and then experiencing the wonderland that DeSantis has set up for everybody. Those figures translate to real economic pressures for families and individuals, by the way, in Florida, who have to pay huge amounts of money to insurance companies for their homes.
Well, yeah, and people do, especially in their senior years, they think about moving to the warmer climates, and that's an option for some. But yeah, if the inflation rate is is higher there, it may not make perfect sense if their housing costs have gone up and
Yeah.
other things. Yeah,
Yeah.
so we got
Well,
a text here. Speaking,
yeah.
Take it.
Talking about L.A., right?
Right, yeah.
Yep. Someone who wants to hear my old Sonny Bono story, but well, I did go to Sonny Bono's Italian restaurant in L.A. While I was there. I can't remember what in the 70s sometime, but anyway, he was there. Sonny Bono is his restaurant, and that's what a manager does, an owner does. They go through the restaurant, they talk to the clientele, making sure everybody's happy. And I talked to him briefly, and I don't remember saying anything of relevance. I could see
Sonny.
I could see that he wanted to get away. Well, this guy's not going to say anything to me. He looks uncomfortable. But it was really fun seeing Sonny. The real Sonny, even though he was conservative. I didn't know that at the time, but yeah, he was a good guy. I always liked Sonny Bono.
Yeah, he was a conservative Republican congressman.
Right, exactly.
From, Southern California. And so I wonder how long he had that restaurant, but this was after he and Cher had divorced, I assume.
Yes.
Or maybe not.
Yep. No, it was. Yep. So, he replaced Cher with a restaurant. Seems like a fair exchange. Let's get into the Florida thing with DeSantis.
Okay.
David Korn wrote this on Twitter X. He said, "I'm glad Ron DeSantis was able to fact-check himself this time. DeSantis said this a little while back, and now, of course, he's supporting Trump, right? Okay, well, this is what DeSantis said long before that.
You can be the most worthless Republican in America, but if you kiss the ring, he'll say you're wonderful. You can be the strongest, most dynamic, successful Republican and conservative in America, but if you don't kiss that ring, then he'll try to trash you. You know what? You deserve a nominee that's going to put you first, not himself first."
Oh, yes. So now,
now he's kissing the ring.
Now he's kissing the ring, but not only that. Get this. This is unbelievable. Now that DeSantis has stepped down from running, he is back in Florida, and he vetoed what the legislature wanted to do down there, and that is to help pay with taxpayer money Trump's legal bills. The legislature is going to pass a bill to pay for Trump's legal bills with taxpayer money. People who were Democrats, independents, they didn't have a say over this. They're going to pay for Trump's legal bills. Well, DeSantis vetoed that little item. So Greg Sargent, a columnist, said DeSantis's implosion is more confirmation that anti-woke politics has completely fizzled. DeSantis' organization, his entire governorship and campaign on this theme just fizzled. Now Moms for Liberty is losing everywhere. Youngkin failed disastrously. And where woke goes to die, Ron is kaput with that one.
There you go. 6:58, news, weather, sports coming up. We'll be talking about Scott Walker next.
Yes.
Do you recognize who this guy is? This caller?
Yes.
Should we take it or no?
What? Is he on the line?
Yeah, he called back and said John lied about the story.
I didn't lie about the story.
Well, let's get into it then.
This is my MAGA friend in Milwaukee.
That's what I figured.
And he lived out there. And I actually went out there to visit, and we went around, and he showed me the place, and we went in there and we talked. But I don't remember, that much about it. So because I didn't remember everything, I'm lying.
Do you want to take him on or not? You want to let him go?
I can put him on, and you can talk to him right
now. Okay.
It's up to John.
You can put him on right now.
Yeah, you can talk to him right now if you want, and then you can go into the break.
Let's see what I lied about. Okay. All right.
You're on. We're in a commercial right now, but if you want to talk to John, you can.
Okay, Vince, go ahead.
Okay. So, here's the deal.
Yes.
We go to West Hollywood. I make the arrangements because my last name is Valenti, and we get in there right away.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay.
And because Jack Valenti was head of Street Anchor stuff. And we pull up in the parking lot. We go in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like Miami Vice. And John, he says, so we're having.
All right, I'll tell you what.
Well,
Vince,
listen, why don't you save
Vince,
this? Let's do this on
save
the air.
story. Save the story.
Okay?
Just okay. Are you good with doing this on the air? You want to correct me?
Yeah, fine.
Okay, hold on then.
Well,
I always do.
we're in a news break.
Okay.
We're in a news break for a few minutes.
He's good.
So,
just to let him go.
Okay.
We'll take him. We'll take him right out of the break.
Okay.
Right. We'll do it live.
Yes, do it live.
Do we have that? Do it live. Who has that?
Yeah,
Do you
I
have
have
that?
that. I have it isolated here.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
There it is. God, that is one of the great
Throw
moments.
that in there somewhere, Sam.
That was
Yeah.
so good.
Don't be afraid to punch those things in every once in a while.
Yeah, we love drop-ins.
Yeah,
No
especially
kidding.
Little shots like that are great.
Oh. Vince knows. He remembers this every detail. The Valenti thing, I did not think about that.
Well, I remember Jack Valenti. Yeah, he was a big deal. You know.
No, but the trick that Vince had set, saying, "Hey, it's Valenti. He's here." Not Jack Valenti. It's Vince. He tricked him. He tricked him back then.
Oh.
We'll see how that works out.
All right.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, everybody.
Yeah, here we go.
They're all nervous now. Facebook listeners who can hear us during the breaks.
Yeah.
They're thinking, well,
what's going on now?
My goodness.
What's happening in
how
there?
How do they do this?
This is the show behind the show. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, behind the scenes.
Sometimes way more entertaining than the actual show itself. Yes.
We're always honest, though. We're always honest.
Yeah.
Not blowing smoke. I can't wait to figure out, what I did.
There's a story like when remember when Cher married Greg Allman for about 20 minutes?
Yeah.
And they had a kid and so Greg Allman, I mean, rocker, obviously back then into whatever was going around.
Right.
Smoke white or, snorting or whatever. So the story is they go into an Italian restaurant and they're having spaghetti and stuff, and Cher's there, and they have some celebrities gathered around, and they had just gotten married, and recently, like in the last few, so people are coming up and congratulating him, and Greg Allman's a little bit out of it, and then somebody asked him a question, and he turned, and then he passed out face first into a bowl of spaghetti.
Oh my God.
Just out cold. They had to, take him out of the restaurant. I think that's when Cher decided, this isn't working. Yeah, we're done. We're done.
They don't play enough Allman Brothers music on the radio.
No, not anymore. We've got that one song, that one cut I gave Sam, Elizabeth Reed, in memory of Elizabeth Reed, but that's not a good audio. I want to find a little better take of that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when you grab audio off of YouTube, it's, I'm always going for the remastered or something like that sounds good, but that one I don't think it sounds that great.
When a Dickie Betts song comes on, I always try to do my best Dickie Betts voice when I'm singing along. Yeah.
And boy, Lord, I was born a rambling man.
Lord, I just love that song.
I love Dickie Betts' guitar playing.
Oh yeah,
I listened to that over and over again when I was playing guitar.
I gotta get Lundy on this show. Just
yeah.
I don't know how to. I just can't. I don't know how to get a hold of him. His girlfriend works for the station, but I don't know who she is.
We'll have to look at, we need an employee list.
1 minute.
Well, yeah, employee list with their, their significant others on it.
Right. Somebody has to know.
I always look at him as like the rock jock,
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy.
He was the guy, yeah. No question.
Yeah. But I had no idea that what he was doing in Milwaukee for so many years.
Mm.
All right, I'm ready.
Are you taking Vince right out of the break?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. I can't get my atomic clock to work. The light keeps going out. What the heck?
10 seconds.
No, I can't go on. I have to have my atomic clock. Oh.
Transmitted by wire.
Here is the latest news brought into your own living room.
You'll be hard to satisfy with anything less.
Let's give them something to talk about.
Talk is cheap.
Gib. Always gossiping.
It's the John and Gordy Show.
This is High Five Plus.
And that's the way it is.
We'll do it live.
Only on Mad Radio 92.7 WMDX. Take it away, boys.
Thank you.
Oh, boy.
We will.
We'll do it live.
Do it live. Mad Radio WMDX 92.7 on your FM radio dial and 1580 AM. Taking your calls at 608-879-8255. And we have a caller standing by, right, John?
We do have a caller standing by. It's my mega friend in Milwaukee. It is Vince Valenti. Vince, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm feeling very honored that your fan club is one strong here on YouTube.
That's right. That is true. That is true. But thanks for, bearing through all this liberal chat.
Boy, that was one long, hard break, man.
Oh, sorry. No, Vince, you called in because you had a correction to John's story. You were there at the restaurant when you guys went to Sunny. Yeah, well, go ahead.
Yeah, so we go there, okay.
No, I went to LA to visit Vince way back when.
No, you did not. No, see, right away. You went out there. You flew out there because we're going to drive back.
That's right.
And you were going to help me pay for the gas, and you never did. So, anyway.
Which made you go right wing, right? Is that what did it? It turned you. All right.
Well, we visit K-Rock.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We talked to the girl, the female disc jockey that wasn't Playboy.
Yeah.
And then we go to this restaurant. All right. Sonny's restaurant. All right. So, we go there and all these, people are looking at people because that's what you do in LA. And they call our name. But before we call our name, somebody gave Sonny a script. And they go, yeah, you got the actors in here, all bloviating. So we walk down this long hallway, and there's Lee Majors, there's Red Buttons, okay. And what does John do? He runs to the booth to sit so he can look at the door, because that's how Wyatt Earp got shot.
That's right.
And like John has no self-defense skills at all.
That's right. I never had my back to the door. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like when we used to go to Big Boys as kids, and we used to bring a phone in there. So anyway, I'm usually the guy that's, talkative and stuff like that. And John goes, hey, Sonny, come over here. I said, John, what are you doing? And so he sits down and talks with us for about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And he's on my right side. And I'm like, this is Sonny Bono. Mm-hmm. And then he was very kind, very good. And I mean, the nicest guy. And I said, John, don't ever do that again. And guess who had to pay for dinner? You think John went in his wallet?
Sonny paid for it, right?
It's like, yeah. So then a day later,
yeah,
because I was living in Glendora, okay, we went to Al Pacino's dad's restaurant, Pacino's Villa in South Covina, in West Covina. And we met Al Pacino's dad.
Mm-hmm.
And so and John is just like, that's not Al Pacino's dad. Yes, it is. Mr. Pacino, would you tell him? And, I mean, John, and the guy was going to get mad. I thought he was going to call it on us. So, anyway.
Oh, that's my experience in L.A. Yeah.
So John,
yeah.
We get there, at Pacino's restaurant, and it's the same thing. He's got to sit facing the door, So anyway, Gordy,
yes,
that's it. Don't trust, when John talks, cut it in half. Then cut it in half some more.
Cut it in half and cut it in half again.
Gordy, what do you think of the Brewers picking up? What do you think the Brewers picking up the first baseman?
I hadn't heard that news. I'm a Cubs fan, Vince, so I don't pay any attention to the Brewers.
Yeah, I know. You're a liberal and a Cubs fan.
That's right.
Yeah.
Proud to be.
Man.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, Vince, it's great to talk to you. I'm glad you are here to fact check John's stories because
sometimes I just lie.
Good victory for Trump.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Oh yeah, big victory. Oh my goodness sake, it was a blowout.
Yeah, well,
Come on, it wasn't. Yeah. Okay.
What's that?
It was. The margin of victory would have been greater. Look, you really think she's going to keep on running?
I think that.
Blow money.
From what
her biggest donor is a liberal communist.
From what I heard, Biden got like almost 50% just from write-in, and it's close. It's tight, but. Look, Vince, we're done. We're done. I got to move on. I got a whole bunch of different stories here.
You can be the most worthless Republican in America, but if you kiss the ring, he'll say you're wonderful. You can be the strongest,
there you go.
most dynamic, successful Republican and conservative in America, but if you don't kiss that ring, then he'll try to trash you. You know what? You deserve a nominee that's going to put you first, not himself first.
Well, they didn't think so. They got rid of him.
DeSantis, yeah.
Yes. I want to talk about.
It was good to
you
talk
think
to Vince.
Yeah. You think so? Might have been a mistake.
You seem a little angry. Okay.
I'm
glad he told us about that story about you sitting with your back to, or so you can see. I never noticed that. Whenever we go out to a restaurant, you do this. You still do this.
I do. I do. Yeah.
You sit with your back to the wall, and
so somebody comes in and they're firing away. They're
right.
I just put my friend in front of me, and we're good.
Yeah. All right.
I'm
glad
know.
Vince informed us on that.
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks, Vince.
All right.
Okay, that's a mega. Let's talk about Scott Walker. While we're talking about losers like DeSantis, truly one of the biggest losers ever, and what a horrible, disastrous campaign that turned out to be. Well, let's talk about Scott Walker, who had probably the worst campaign ever in history, and everybody remembers him for his attempt to be a president. Oh my God, really? Anyway, Scott Ross, who appears every once in a while on our station with the Devils. Oh, I mentioned them. He said, the economy is booming. On the other hand, after Republicans implemented every single plan Scott Walker proposed, not only did Walker never create his promised 250,000 jobs, Wisconsin was consistently dead last in job creation in the Midwest. And he is reacting to a tweet by Scott Walker, who wrote, he is really not together. He wrote this: voters are willing to put up with political chaos in return for economic stability. Think about that kind of comment, right? He is trying to justify the chaos that the Republicans have in the House of Representatives. And turning that into lemonade, I guess. Voters are willing to put up with that political chaos if they get economic stability. Do you think we've got economic stability with that House? I don't think so. So let's take a look at what Walker did, okay?
Okay, all right.
Act 10. Act 10 reversed a century of progress. Okay, a century of progress. Comparing Wisconsin to our neighboring state, Minnesota, this was a study. We can see how massive a hit our workers took on inflation-adjusted median household incomes. The legislation choked wage growth for all Badger State workers, public and private sector alike. The law subverted this normal market practice by legislating wage decline. Just think about that. Legislating wage decline. We all know that if people have union jobs, they make about $10,000 more a year, and so he destroyed unions in this state. Everybody took a cut. The law subverted this normal process. During rough times, worker pay still fails to rise, but in good years, pay for state public workers could only increase by the rate of inflation by law. Thus, overtime pay drops and doesn't keep pace with wages. In 2012, when the law took effect, our median household income in Wisconsin was $53,000. After 10 years of Act 10, it was only $73,000.
After 10 years.
After 10 years, yeah. But for Minnesota, they started off in 2012 at $61,000, ended up 10 years later at $93,000. So there's a differential, $20,000. We are taking a hit because of Act 10. Again, a median inflation adjusted household income spread of $8,000 transformed into a $20,000 gap between the states. And one problem, permitting tax cuts benefiting those who already have the most. That's one of the problems. And the wealthiest don't spend as much of their money locally as workers. Extra money goes to vacations abroad, luxury consumption on fancy cars made in Europe, and personal jet transport, and money parked in investments all around the world. In short, the money leaves Wisconsin, and our small businesses see less of that cash. But workers here, of course, are the ones who spend their money here, and those businesses see that cash. It's more than, it says here, it's more than time for the Wisconsin State Supreme Court to reverse Act 10. And that is from a professor of political economy and public policy at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee.
And this was all because of Act 10. And
Act 10.
Yeah. And Scott Walker, what was the phrase that you had there, sort of the slogan that you started this with? Encapsulated all of this. Run that by again.
But Scott Walker's little line there?
Yes.
Voters are willing to put up with a little political chaos in return for economic stability. And that economic stability must mean that our pay is frozen, and we never get any raises, and we don't get any benefits, and we actually go back in time to a time where we weren't making enough money, and we are living paycheck to paycheck, and then the Republicans get to complain that we're living paycheck to paycheck. It's because of Biden. Well, no, that's not true. It is Act 10. 10 years, reverse 10 years of progress, or a century of progress, as this professor states. Just a little thought. A lot of this stuff, it comes back to haunt us years and years later.
That's it. You got it right.
Oh, I care. You know that.
You do care. You do.
But I do get angry.
Johnny. It's almost 19 past the hour. And coming up, we're going to talk about State Senator Steve Nass's Nazi crowd.
That's right.
Oh, boy. Good rant.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Vince got you all fired up there.
Yeah.
So got your blood pressure going there.
Gotta cut him off, But he did good.
No, he actually his phone sounded fine.
Yeah.
I was thinking that why is Vince's phone sound so good?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to get
it almost sounded like a speakerphone too.
Yeah,
I mean, or maybe he was just using the
20
speakerphone
seconds.
function. Okay.
There's somebody on the line. I haven't checked who it is yet, but
Okay.
that might be coming up.
Keep us posted.
Stand by.
10 seconds.
Okay. Mad Radio WMDX 92.7 FM 1580 AM. Is AM still on? It is.
It is. Yeah.
Madison, downtown, a block away from the Capitol.
It's 20 minutes past the hour. We've got fog out there this morning. If you're heading out, get the fog lights going because it's still pretty thick out there. The fog advisory goes till about 10 o'clock this morning. Then it should just be cloudy the rest of the day, mid to upper 30s.
Okay, so my mega friend in Milwaukee corrected me. My memory is a little blurry at the time. Now we had another correction here. It was Wild Bill Hickok that got shot in the back. Not Wyatt Earp.
Oh,
there you go. Right?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Just to kind of set the record straight here.
There you go. Yeah, we like to fact check ourselves as we go along. 608-879-8255 is our number. You can call us or text us there. And Dick is on the line from Madison with some thoughts this morning. Good morning, Dick.
Good morning, guys. Just one last thing on Trump last night. To prove that it's all about vengeance and nothing. He's not even a sound politician.
No.
He starts attacking Sununu. Okay? Most people would try and make some overtures. He's not going to get him on board, but sits there and just berates him. The guy has like a 63 or 4% rating in his state. And he might, going forward, want to win that state. Of course, he's not going to. But the best thing to do, right, is attack the governor, who's very popular, instead of trying to say, well, jokingly say something like, he didn't get it right last night. Maybe we can work together going forward. He's just amazing.
It is. It is
doubt very
amazing.
highly that state would ever go Trump's direction, but that's not even smart politics, what he did.
No. Well, we're going to get to a few comments from Trump, by the way, and comments from Sununu as well. And that's coming up in the next break. So keep it here, all right?
Thanks for your call, Dick.
All right, Dick. Thanks.
608-879-8255.
Let's get to Senator Steve Nass, who is the enemy of the UW system. He's been defunding and criticizing the UW for so many years, for a decade at least. I remember he complained. We had a lot of protests around the Capitol during Act 10, and there were a lot of signs and posters and billboards, and a lot of that was created by UW students. And what the UW students wanted to do in the art department or some department at the UW campus, they wanted to have a show. And have a festival and have all this protest art out there for people to see. And Nass and his crew of pirates at the state capitol decided that we're going to cut funding at the UW if you go ahead with this art show. This is, now, if you ever want to talk about government censorship, this is real, actual censorship, threatening the UW with defunding if you have an art show put on by the students. It still sits in my craw. I just can't get over how incredible that was, and the press just kind of glossed over it. They should never have done it. This is censorship. This is definite censorship. I don't care about whatever you want to do with the funding. You're censoring the UW and the students at the UW. But anyway, Steve Nass now has his crew of Nazi protesters in Whitewater on the campus, and this is what it sounded like a few nights ago. Listen.
We are everywhere. There will be blood, blood, blood. We don't need us next shit. White men do this. We don't need us next shit. White men do this.
Okay, so while they were doing that, there was a laser image of a swastika on one of the student buildings there. So this is what's going on campus in Whitewater. This is the town that Steve Nass represents in the state legislature. And I guess technically, when you think about it, we really don't need DEI, do we? We are well past the racist stage here. We are no longer racist in this country. Never been a racist country ever, anyway. But now we're colorblind, and all we have are individuals like this.
We are everywhere. There will be blood, blood, blood.
Yeah, that's it.
So they were projecting a Nazi symbol.
Yes, a
onto
laser
one of the buildings?
symbol. Yep,
Yeah.
they were. Yeah. Boy, this guy. I love this Twitter handle, by the way. 50 Shades of Way. I just love that. He tweeted, neo-Nazis were spotted at the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater chanting and projecting a giant swastika onto the student dorm building. Imagine seeing this and thinking that we need fewer programs to educate the next generation of Americans on the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Good point. Excellent point. Boy, I guess
So
we
did
just
the,
don't need that.
When this was happening a few days ago, was there any repercussions afterwards as far as the Nazi protesters or the Nazi symbol going on the wall there, the projections? And
If
all of
this
that?
were Republicans in charge of overseeing this, there would have probably been a lot few arrests. Who knows? But I had not heard of any arrests down there. They have a right to protest. Then that's all they were doing, projecting a light on a building. I don't think that's illegal as well.
Right.
But we have to tolerate this. Just as we have to tolerate people supporting the Gaza Strip, those people that want to support saving lives of Palestinians. But instead, people are being told to boycott all the students and all the individuals who signed papers supporting Palestinians and boycott them and not hire them at their businesses. This is a crazy time. It's a wrong time. People are doing the wrong thing in regards to this. Free speech is out there. It's part of our First Amendment, and a lot of people are forgetting that.
Well, and it's a political year too, and so it's all coming out of the woodwork. Last night we were talking about earlier today, Tony Evers' big speech there, the State of the State address, where he pretty much all laid it out toward the Republicans and took them on.
He did.
Yeah, and that was. We'll have some more comments about that coming up as we dissect that speech and the Republican response too.
Maybe I could just throw something in there. Coming up, we're going to get into a little bit of Trump stuff, but somebody wrote two-term Tony. Right. Wisconsin set record for 3,026,500 jobs. December's totals also show low unemployment rate of 3.3%. The economy has been fairly strong, much stronger than a lot of people had previously thought in Wisconsin. The economic growth, he added, produces a positive feedback loop that if you add jobs and pay people, they'll consume more, and consumption drives the U.S. economy. So that's positive feedback loop keeps circling on itself. And the state's labor force participation rate, by the way, Republicans love to talk about the participation rate. Well, the state's labor force participation rate continues to outpace the nation's, which was 62.5%. Wisconsin's higher rate reflects the larger percentage of young people and women in the state's workforce than the rest of the U.S. So a lot to be proud of under Tony Evers. He's doing what he can.
That's right. That's it. It is 7:29. News, weather, sports, straight ahead. And when we return, we'll be talking with our special guest this morning, Brandy Grayson from Civic Media's Black Convergence Show. Coming up.
All right.
Samuel.
Yes.
Do we have Brandy yet?
Not yet.
Is she phoning or StreamYarding? Or?
I sent her the link.
Okay.
And she didn't say how she was coming in. She asked, last I heard from her, she asked if we were calling her. So if we need to, I guess we can do that and do it over phone. But
well, if she doesn't, but this is the assigned time for her to call, right?
Right.
Or
Right.
connect. Well, let's give her another minute or two, and then maybe reach out to her. Or maybe you should just go ahead and call her. I don't know.
We got 4 minutes. We'll wait just a bit.
All right.
I want to get. What's that?
What? I
Go
think
ahead.
Vince Angry reacted us on Facebook.
Oh,
Have an
really?
angry react.
Really?
Yeah.
What, how?
Oh.
I can see like if people react to the live stream.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe some of the arguments we get into, and he hangs up and he just leaves because I get so angry with him and my wife. Oh, and she really blows up, and we just hang up. It's something else.
All right. If Brandy, for some reason, if we can't connect,
we'll do Trump. We'll do
I've got the SNL Trump thing standing by, which is about 3.5 minutes.
Yeah,
we need to
can
tap.
just revert back on the plan that you had.
Let's do the whole Trump thing, right?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. I want to start with a reporter out of Tennessee.
We should go. Maybe we should make a sound. We'll talk off the air, but I have an idea.
For what?
For a Trump sounder. The Trump zone. We've got that drop from Mitt Romney. We've got a few other things. People just one-shot things we could string together.
Yep.
And go into the Trump zone. we probably get a lot of use on that.
Maybe we should start with Nikki Haley, the Trump voter. No, Haley voter. Do you see that? New Hampshire Haley voter against dictatorship.
Is that one of your stories?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of that I didn't print out.
Okay.
I ran out of toner, so I'm just
right.
listening closely.
Okay. Well, so how are we going to start this? Am I going to start it with all this weird stuff, and then we go into the Saturday Night Live bit?
I think we start with the Saturday Night Live.
Oh, okay. Let's do that then.
Okay. Depending if Brandy's ready. I think Sam's probably trying to.
I don't think that's happening. We'll see.
Well,
maybe.
I think the key is we need to contact day before, just to be sure. But maybe that's I don't know.
I mean, it's not required that you be here as our guest.
No, but I feel like we've somehow miscommunicated.
I called and all I got was their phone tree.
Okay. Well,
we'll skip it. Let's skip it. Let's just go with Trump.
Unless she hops in the next minute or so.
All right.
But I don't
Okay.
anticipate that happening.
All right.
Got so much little bits and pieces of Trump.
Bits and pieces. I'm in pieces, bits and pieces. The Dave Clark 5. Yeah. They were pretty good.
Yeah. He's pretty tight with his music, though.
Yeah,
rights,
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he made his songs sound good on AM, which he remixed, I think, later.
Right.
You don't tie your wagon to something like AM radio.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Mouthwash Cola Soda Pop. The all-new soda pop that cleans your breath while it rots your teeth.
It's good stuff.
I think my kid had that. Used to buy 6-packs of it.
It's tasty.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Mad
Good.
Radio WMDX, 92.7 FM, 1580 AM. We're here. We're here for you.
We are live from the state capital of Wisconsin.
Doing it live.
We are doing it live.
We're
Yes,
doing it live.
you are correct, sir. It's
We got a lot
cloudy,
of
it's
stuff
little
here
foggy.
on Trump. You've got a great bit from what last Saturday, is that right?
Yeah, we were all at a great Packer party, and hosted by Catherine, our program director. It was really a lot of fun. A bunch of people from the station there, and some other friends, and it was great. We were all wrapped up in the Packer party, and then they lost, and so a bit of a downer, but it was a great game.
And Catherine's going to be our partner tomorrow.
That's
She's going to
right.
fill in for you because you are taking off. You're going someplace else.
I'm going down to Chicago later today, and I'll be coming back tomorrow. But there's an event down there that I'm attending, and I'm helping to MC a thing. And we'll talk about it when I get back. But in any case, so Saturday, back to the Packer. The Packer game happens, and then everybody's hanging out for a while, and then of course I didn't realize there was a new Saturday Night Live that night.
We could have watched that.
We could have watched that. And of course, this was taking place after the Iowa caucuses. And so, SNL has this great Trump impersonator, James Austin Johnson. He is really, really good at this. And so this particular opening to the Saturday Night Live happened last Saturday after the Iowa caucuses and while Trump was, going back and forth into court. So let's give a listen here.
Settle down. My name is Alina Habba. I'm the attorney for President Trump in the second defamation trial of E. Jean Carroll. The judge has been very unfair from the beginning. And I want to make this perfectly clear. I am new at this, and I am learning. Now, the president may or may not stop for brief remarks, but due to a strict gag order, he will not be commenting on anything pertaining to this case, Miss Carroll, or the judge. Oh, I think he's coming now.
Oh, well, thank you, Alina. You're great on TV. Maybe the worst lawyer I've ever had, which is quite an accomplishment. Look at this team. This is the bottom of the barrel, folks. This is who said yes. I'm in the lead for president, and this is the best I can get. Feels like a red flag, no? Well, you're not getting paid, by the way. You know that, of course you do. All right. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I'll see you at Shakey's. You can get out of here.
Shakey's.
But we are here at Courthouse, and yes, we will be abiding by this horrible gag order, so I will not be saying that the judge is an idiot or where he lives or what kind of crappy car he drives. I didn't know they still made Wagoneers, but it's a terrible time for our country. I am standing weirder than ever. Arms like a G.I. Joe, legs like the Smooth Criminal video. Look like I'm always in ski boots. Make it make sense. But we just got back from Iowa, where we won very big in Iowa. I want to congratulate Mr. DeSantis on a truly embarrassing showing. He went to 99 counties, but bitch couldn't win one. Ron DeStupid. Ron DeStupid. It just works. We're going with Ron DeStupid. As you can see, I am doing very well cognitively, doing great with cognitive. I think I'm doing great with cognitive. I'm more cognitive than ever. The doctor said, "Sir, you have to be in the top 99% of all concussion and dementia people we give this test to." I said, "Wow, I guess I'm very good at recognizing elephants. Who knew?" And now we're here. And this is the campaign, folks. This is all there is. Me yelling in courthouse lobby. But the next stop is New Hampshire against Nikki Haley. Nikki. Darling Nikki, Purple Rain. Nikki, she thought I was done. But I'm back in a big way. I'm back like Mean Girls. Yeah, we love Mean Girls. We've seen a lot of success with saying things that did not happen. I think we'll continue to do that. It's an innovation I'm particularly proud of. Seems to be working very well. But I love this country and its traditions. That's why I'm not doing any debates and barely doing election. I don't need to. My people love me. I got the old people. They're waiting in snow for 2 hours to vote for Trump. Oh, darling, I'm dying. I got to do one last thing. I got to vote for Trump. We just need him to stay alive till November. Stay alive till November. Just pull that lever and drop dead. Why? Because I am sent by God and God has a plan for me or whatever. I don't know. But 2024 is going to be a very exciting year. I'm either going to jail, be president, or frankly, the purge. Perhaps all three. Let's spin the chamber. And live from New York, it's Saturday night.
There you go.
Up there from
man, oh man.
James Austin Johnson. Yeah.
A lot of stuff from this guy. I tell you, that Trump.
That's
good. Yeah. Here's a voter in New Hampshire talking about why she voted for Haley.
Well, I voted for Nikki Haley because I was voting against Donald Trump.
And what propelled you to get to this point?
I'm 74 years old. I've lived in a constitutional democracy all my life. I want to remain that way, and I want my grandchildren to grow up in one, not a dictatorship.
And I'm curious, over the last two elections, have you voted Trump in the past? Was it something where you voted for him, you trusted him, and you were disappointed?
Yes, I voted for him in 2016. I am a registered Republican, and I regretted that vote almost immediately, especially on his trip to Europe where he insulted our allies and praised Putin.
And then in 2020, was that enough for you to change your vote to Joe Biden?
Yes, absolutely.
Why did you feel the need to cross party lines?
Because I want the world to be a safe place. I believe in a strong NATO. My father fought in World War II to defeat fascism, and I wanted to remain defeated.
There you go. Wow.
Says it all, yeah.
A good reason.
Right?
I wish more people thought like that. All right, we've got a phone call here.
That's right. We have Joe on the phone. You know, earlier we were talking about Tony Evers buying that land and the land conservation.
Pelican River Forest Project.
Yeah, Joe is on the phone. Good morning, Joe.
Joe, what do you got for us?
Well, I just want to say what a honking deal this is. This is an amazing feat to pull this all together, particularly with the intransigence of the Republicans they had one person who anonymously voted no on acquiring this using the stewardship, the Nelson Stewart funds to make this go forward. And still, Tony, like dancing like Fred Astaire, was able to make this work. So there's 2 points I wanted to make about this. First off, are the number of people he had to work with, the organizations, to do this little nimble dance to get this land saved. And it was the Conservation Fund, the Richard King Mellon Foundation for a bridging loan, individuals and foundations, federal forest legacy programs from the National Fish and Wildlife, and even Walmart's Acres for America program. So it's like all these different people he had to work with. And the second thing I wanted to make the point is that they talk about this land being pulled away and, you won't be able to develop it because it's got these conservation easements on it. Well, apparently there was only one township within this area of this Pelican River Forest area that's been approved of that was resisting it. So they worked with them to figure out a way to make this work for that one particular community. And interestingly, all the other townships within the easement have language in their land use plans that support what is being offered by this, including industrial forest for sustainable harvest and recreational opportunities. And that's all part of those townships put together their long-term vision, and they wanted both of those things. They wanted the sustainable harvest on forestry land that would be available and the recreational opportunities. And the recreational opportunities are gigantic. I mean, they're going to be hooking together these snowmobile trails and ATV trails, which aren't necessarily my thing, but boy, a lot of people up north really love them. And so it's going to provide that recreation base that's going to be just great for people up there. So, kudos to the guy for keeping it going, not giving up, and finding a way to make it work. And the net result is that those communities will, with those conservation easements as part of long-term planning, will be just fine, and it's something that they wanted because they indicated that they wanted it in their long-term planning. So Mr. Fred Astaire Governor Evers, thanks for the nimble footwork in making this all happen.
Yeah, he
Thanks
didn't let go. He didn't let go of the whole issue. You know, he worked around them, and he got this passed, and he worked with the town. By the way, the town is of Monaco, and the person who held this up was Republican Senator Mary Felskowski. She held this thing up, and all she had to do was negotiate, an exception around this town in order to, allow the town to grow. And that's all. Right. That's all Tony Evers ended up doing. It is just a fantastic deal.
Do some work. Yeah. Sit
That's
down
right.
And do the work to make it happen, rather than sitting in the road and saying no. Because the ultimate is, it's an incredible gift to the state, and something as generations go by that we are going to be incredibly grateful that was saved. So,
Joe, hang on a second.
Highlighting, guys.
Joe, hang on a second. Sam, did you have a comment?
Oh, yeah, I was just going to jump in and say I drove along Highway 45 and Highway 8 up there pretty consistently for a couple of years, like every couple of weeks. It's a really beautiful area up there. I've driven through this town, Monaco, and all the other towns along Highway 45. They're not big places. They're not going to be like developed in a crazy way. So
right.
I don't know what exactly this representative was all worked up about, but surely it being a new conservation area with snowmobile trails and other recreation being opened up even more so than it already was is going to be a boon to these communities up north.
Right. It'll create jobs, new businesses.
Yes,
it sounds like a fantastic
there's
time.
Money in recreation.
Yeah,
there's money in tourism, there's money in recreation, and they should be able to take advantage of it in a wonderful way and still have the forestry business going forward, which is also huge for jobs. So kudos to Fred Astaire / Governor Evers.
I love it. All right. Well, maybe we should start calling him that. Thanks, Joe. Thanks for the call and pointing that out.
Some good tap dancing there. Yeah. it's all good.
We were ready for the tap dance. Oh yeah. I just want to now let's. Do we have time for
a couple of minutes here?
A little bit more of Trump. It seems like reporter Phil Williams at NC5 in Tennessee. He actually tweeted this amazing thing. More reporters should be doing this, but this is what he tweeted next. Perhaps you'll have a rogue cop or a bad apple as president, but there's nothing you can do about it. And this is what he is reacting to.
But it's a little bit like the police. So you have a rogue cop. You know what a rogue cop is? Very seldom, but you have bad people. You have people, no matter where, no matter what.
Oh, my God.
In the church, you have some people that aren't so good, right? Oh. But you have people, a rogue cop or a bad apple, whatever. And what they do is they make it so that you catch, so that it can't happen. And therefore, everyone else is allowed to commit crimes, murders, like at levels that we've never seen before.
What?
No, we're going to have to do this. Immunity for the president. If you have a president that doesn't have immunity, he's never going to be free to do anything because the opposing party will always indict him as soon as he leaves the White House. And you can't let that happen.
If he's done something wrong.
You take away all of the power of the presidency, it'll be a different country.
That's right. So Phil Williams came out and said, well, if you have a rogue cop or a bad apple as president, there's nothing anybody can do about it. Good point. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
But, that's a reporter. And this guy is one of the best reporters I've seen in the country so far. And we featured him a number of times on this show. Betty Bowers had this comment about Ron DeSantis. I have to get this out because I think it's fantastic. If only Ron DeSantis had been lucky enough to be a slave, he might have learned skills he could later use to run for a competent political campaign.
7:49. We'll be back with more after this.
All right, we can get into the
bring it in for a landing. Yeah,
the Trump mentally unstable. If I can just get that out. Just get it out. Get it out, John. Get it out. Get it out now.
Okay. I'm I'm going to have Mitt Romney standing by.
Yeah.
Just
You have to have
the
that.
When I have the moment, I'll trigger a shorty.
Definitely. That's a gift that keeps on giving. Great stuff. Man.
I guess we didn't hear from Brandy, but maybe we'll circle back and try to reconnect again.
Well, maybe.
All right, we'll talk about it later.
We should give up on it.
Kind of given up at some point. But
Let's.
I mean, there are a lot of questions I'd like to know. So.
Oh, that's all right.
Donald Trump is kind of a human gumball machine.
Mad Radio WMDX 92.7 FM 1580 AM. We're going to miss Romney and those clever little comments. No, we won't miss him. We won't miss him. I guarantee.
I kind of miss him. He's a voice of sanity and all the chaos occasionally. So,
yeah, we were hearing about Governor Chris Sununu basically kind of trashing Trump, and Trump is not real happy with Sununu, and this is what Sununu was talking about here.
I think I'm a lot sharper than her. I would do this. I would sit down right now and take an aptitude test, and it would be my result against her result, and she's not going to win. She's not going to even come close to winning.
Do you have anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, this is the guy. This is the guy that was blaming Nikki Haley for January 6th and couldn't. If he's off the teleprompter, this is not Donald Trump of 2016, guys.
So,
if he's off the teleprompter, he can barely keep a cogent thought. I mean, that's just fact.
But you've seen him in person as many, probably more times.
I've worked with him very closely. He's not the same guy. This is not Donald Trump.
He didn't
on
have
his
a prompter
fastball.
last night.
Yeah, look, this guy is nearly 80 years old. Thank you
He's
for your
77.
service. Yeah, that's nearly 80. We'll do math later, but
I love that.
Yeah, they nailed it.
Early 80, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, we got to give him that 3 years. What a major difference that is. It's, it's different for everybody. There isn't some moment. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. I don't care.
I know it.
All right. We've got another example. Donald Trump struggled to deliver his prepared remarks in New Hampshire after accusing President Biden of not being able to put two sentences together. While reading from his prepared remarks, Trump slurred out an incoherent sentence on the death penalty. Oh, my God.
We have become a drug-infested, crime-ridden nation, which is incapable of solving even the smallest problem. The simplest of problems we can no longer solve. We can't do anything. We are an institute and a powerful death penalty. We will put this on. We have to bring in the death penalty if we want to.
Oh, boy.
So mournful. We don't know what
he really cares. He really does care.
Yeah,
like this comment, he was thanking Desert Storm vets and Vietnam vets. This is truly remarkable.
Fields and jungles of Vietnam. They delivered a swift and sweeping. You know that sweeping.
Huh?
It was swift and it was sweeping like nobody's ever seen anything happen. A victory in Operation Desert Storm. A lot of you were involved in that.
No.
A lot of you were involved. That was a quick one.
It was a quick one. The guy who tweeted this one has said, "Thank you, Desert Storm vets, for the quick one in Vietnam."
The quick one.
The quick one.
What the hell?
Who would even think of that? Wait, I got to hear it again because this really does break me up. This guy really does get lost here.
Fields and jungles of Vietnam. They delivered a swift and sweeping. You know that sweeping. It was swift and it was sweeping like nobody's ever seen anything happen. A victory in Operation Desert Storm. A lot of you were involved in that.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of you were involved. That was a quick one.
Last thing he did ever
That's
think of.
Weird stuff. I mean, that is weird, wild, wacky stuff.
You are correct, sir.
Yeah, so boy, that was a quick one. Who would think of including the words "quick one" when talking about war and going to war and being in the war? That was a quick one.
Yeah.
What?
That's right. That's right.
And on June 14th, 1946, God lost a bet with Satan, and Satan said, pay up. So God made Trump. God said, I need someone willing to get up before dawn to call Fox and Friends, hypnotize Brian Kilmeade, beg for money, bang a porn star, get someone killed, pay off a porn star, and tweet until noon until he stumbles into work wearing a Big Mac like an alien facehugger. So God gave us Trump. God said, I need a sweaty swindler with arms long enough to cheat at golf, but hands small enough to order off the kids' menu. Flatulent fraud, Tuanka warmonger, shank a translator, fillet a potentate, hide a bone saw, sell a secret, come home hungry, stop at KFC, promise to pay for everyone's meals, dock the check, call the First Lady having lunch with friends in a different state, then tell the ladies he needs a moment alone with the First Lady because she should probably get tested for hepatitis. And to be sure to come back real soon, ladies, especially the ones with behemoth bazongas. So God gave us Trump. I need a savage beast, soothed by Kid Rock whistling Dixie, bewildered by water, incontinent enough to wear a XXL diaper secured by exoskeletal girdle, hydraulic lift, and bioweapons containment team willing to give their lives for the love child of a Habsburg inbred and a necrotic squash, a flim-flam philanderer, a reeking rape who can't read but speaks in tongues, manifesting Mein Kampf like a Ritalin-roused Rhonda Byrne Ubermensch. So God gave us Trump. God said, I need a tacky trickster who writes like a fourth grader, talks like a third grader, cheats like a fornicator, brags like a compensator, and dresses like a headwaiter who wears golf cleats to church. A louse who leans 60 degrees in 3-inch lifts, waddling down a ramp, grabbing a steering wheel, tear-gassing a book club, with the fetid charnel house miasma of splenetic emissions escaping his manly sweat glands, all the while bankrupting a casino, chiseling the Secret Service, stealing government staplers, losing a lawsuit, inciting a riot, licking up his daughter's skirt with shoe mirrors. So God made Trump. And God said, I need an absentee father, deadbeat debtor, vengeful vulgarian to be my champion with a golden mane. And the mane shall extend a hand's breadth below the ear on the right, 1 cubit below the ear on the left, 2 cubits from the crown to the upper back. The back shall be fire-hosed forward, transected like a lattice crust of the world's rankest pork pie, raked back and secured with the least woke hair product from among the Canaanites. But the bald patch in the center of the garden you shall not touch, for it is holy to the Lord.
Yeah.
That
God
is
made
one
Trump.
great description. That is just classic stuff.
Yeah.
I wish you'd slow it down just a little bit because I really do want to remember almost all of that.
There's a lot there. There's a
Yeah.
lot there. And, you
It
know,
really
that could
is.
be our next president again, thanks to the Republican Party.
Just
If they-
ignoring all of that. They're just ignoring it.
Yeah. Isn't
It's
it
not like it's not like he did anything when he was president, you know? I mean, he basically bankrupted so many farmers with the tariffs that he put on, and had to pay them off with taxpayer money, our taxpayer money, for a mistake he made. It was truly tragic. We actually had a recession. And based on the Trump tax cuts, we've raised, the debt by $8 trillion. None of it was successful. And now he's promising another Trump tax cut if he becomes president for corporations. Has nothing to do with us.
And on it goes, but that's it for this morning. John and Gordy will return tomorrow, except I won't be here. So it'll be John and Catherine Lake tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely.
So you have
It'll
a
be fun.
wonderful day. I'll be back on Friday. So.